In connection with the brawl over the weekend appeared in court, police revealed new details about what they're calling a coordinated attack. Reporter Alex Null is live tonight from 4th and Elm. This is where it all happened on Saturday. Alex, just walk us through the new information we learned today.
Adrian, the new piece of information that we're learning is that detectives are calling this a coordinated attack between two of the suspects that eventually escalated. 3 suspects in total were in court this morning. They all face charges of felonious assault and aggravated rioting. Appearing before a judge Wednesday morning was Montanez Merriweather, Jermaine Matthews, and Dakira Vernon.
I think we've all seen the video. Extremely violent incident that occurred.
Detective Barnabas Blank with the Cincinnati Police Department is talking about this video.
So this was more kind of like an ambush.
Blank says one of their cameras mounted on a building nearby caught Merriweather and Matthews ambushing a man.
We believe that he coordinated this with Mr. Matthews. He's walked up to him on a video, whispered something to him, and then strategically placed himself behind the victim as the assault begun.
Blank says it quickly escalated.
This is like the catalyst that set almost everything else into motion. It's been described from the Vice President of the United States as like a mob attack, and that just simply isn't what occurred.
That's Matthews' attorney, Brandon Fox.
I have a significant amount of evidence that nobody has seen other than my client and I that paint a very different depiction of what occurred.
Fox says there was another fight before that viral video was taken. He says Matthews tried breaking that fight up before returning to his car. He says when he did, he saw a man kicking it. Fox says when Matthews confronted the man slapped him.
Victim mugs the defendant.
Yes, he absolutely does, 100%, and we are looking into that.
As for Vernon, Blank says she was originally just a witness, but eventually got involved.
Damn, she just jumped in to help. I feel like the guys who beat the white dude up probably were arguing with him, got into it with him. He was getting chesty or something. It's hard to find video of the slap. It's a few freeze frames out there, and then when the guy swings, they black it out. And I'm like, why are they hiding that video? Why isn't that the video? There's a few. I was on a Fox broadcast, and I think Jesse Waters admitted that the guy slapped first, but then his response is, but, you know, that was too much of a response or whatever. Once you slap somebody, you don't get to call timeout. You already done lit the fuse. It's about to crack, or either they're going to back down. I don't know what the white guy was thinking when he slapped him, or if he was drunk, and if they were drunk too. But it looks like everybody is going into their tribalism here. A lot of black people, as black people, we know what it's like to be racially insulted or physically assaulted. Somebody just walk up and slap the shit out of you, or you're arguing with somebody, and it's a heated argument, obviously. But when they get so frustrated and forget how to use words and just, you know, assault you, and that puts you into an angry mode, and you beat them down, or it's just a violent fight between the two of you, or whatever. But if these guys can be charged and according to the police for any injuries, anything that happened because they started this, and the investigation is looked at thoroughly, maybe even from outside sources, and it's determined that the white guy threw the first blow, the first physical contact between the two, then the white guy should be charged with the injuries that ensued. Once you start it as yours. If you're in a bank robbery and everybody in the bank robbery die except you're going to take all the penalty. We get it. So you can't go out in the street starting fights. And once fights are started by whoever, you can't then say, okay, I slapped you, or okay, I called you the N-word, but you can't, no, you don't get to pick. That's the sad part about it. And beatdowns like that will happen. And beatdowns like that have happened to other people when they didn't slap first or swing first or hit first. I even heard a part of J.D. Vance, and I was very disappointed hearing him say something to the effect of they got away with that because the wrong people were on hand. Meaning, if there had been a rowdy white crowd of guys who were ready to take them on in a physical altercation, it would have been different. And it might have been worse. It might have made more black people. A lot of the black people who were standing around were just looking. But if an angry mob of white people were on hand to help, I'm sure that black group of folks would have swung into action. And it's so unfortunate for us to be punished when we're or appear to be the perpetrators of the violence, and we're punished when we're the recipients of the violence, because usually justice isn't served and we lose lives in the process. It's a real sad way things are going over here and the way people look at things. It's easy to see your culture, your race, your folks being beat down in the street and immediately want the worst for whoever's doing it without even a full investigation. It's just like, that's unacceptable. There's nothing they could have done that could have been that bad to warrant that kind of an ass whooping without even knowing what they did. And if you know what it's like to be slapped first in this country, spit on, called names, racial things that cut deep, this is going to unfold. And we are, as a country, are going to get to see both sides clearly, because right now the side of the three blacks who were arraigned isn't being clearly voiced out there, but it will be. His attorney's doing a good job of getting it going, and it will be a balance and a response to what the prosecutors are trying to say, and that and continuing to say that this was ignited by these black people, and the white guy was basically just a victim being beat like a rag doll. And like I said earlier in my part one of this video, I was certain that something was done by the white guy for them to just flip into a rage like that. I mean, something. I figured it had to be racial, though, because you see people flying off the handle like that with no ability to stop, to calm down. It's just like a blind rage. And that to bring that out in somebody is a terrible thing. And then to have to suffer the repercussions of it by a real beat down. That was pretty terrible. And we do see a lot of violence on TV. We see violence as violent as that, and some much worse. And depending on who's getting beat and our perspective of what they did or how we feel about them personally determines on whether they get a prayer or a or to get their finger wagged. You good for you. You shouldn't have been jaywalking, or good for you. I mean, we can be so harsh and unable to see another person's side of a particular situation. But it's unfortunate to live in a country that you have to make life decisions about going out and relaxing, going out and enjoying your family and friends, going out in the general public in particular times. It's so much to do and so much to take in, but it's always so much potential for catastrophe just out of nowhere. These people weren't known to any of us a few days ago, and now they're all we're seeing on the news and sparking a debate that we do need to have. We need to talk about it. Trump is ignorant and premature to make a statement just based on seeing a white guy getting beat up by black people. You can give a more balanced statement as a president. J.D. Vance seems to be personally attacked by watching this. A lot of the commentary that I'm seeing is a bunch of people who are really upset. The Democrats seem to be the quietest about it because they got Trump mania. They're locked in, and that nothing else matter. What we really go through, what we really have to deal with, whether these black people who are arraigned end up convicted or not. Don't you think we should have the Democrats get involved and start saying, hey, wait a minute. A hate crime should go. Isn't there a hate crime law on the books for us? A hate crime is if that guy said the N-word. That should be in that. If they calling a black person the N-word ain't a hate crime, then we need to add that. They say we got a hate crime. I remember, what's that guy's name? Roland Martin. He was saying that we ignorant for saying that the Asians got a hate crime bill and we didn't get a hate crime bill. And when black people were saying, well, we don't. It's not specifically for us. It kind of covers civil rights for because it doesn't say specifically for black people. It's civil rights law in this country for anybody of any damn color who gets racially resented against, if it's under the color of being racial. But the Japanese or Chinese or Asians or Filipinos or whoever falls under the Asian law, that's specifically for them. Touch one and there's enhancements. There is obviously not that for us, because black people are beaten and physically touched in aggressive manners all the time in this country, and we don't see a whole lot of that for the amount of it that goes on. You'd think there would be a pretty significant jail population to represent that, but there isn't.
Nothing to do with any of the arguments that led up to it. From what we can see, she just interjected herself into a brawl in the street.
Blank says during the fight, one woman was trying to render aid to a man on the ground. He says that's when Vernon punched her.
For no reason at all.
The prosecuting attorney says that woman was then knocked unconscious by another man and left with a concussion.
I don't believe there's any allegation that my client is the one that threw the punch that caused the concussion to the female victim.
The judge ordered that Merriweather be held on a $500,000 bond. Vernon was given a $150,000 bond, and Matthews was given a $100,000 bond. We're live in downtown Cincinnati. I'm Alex Knoll, WCPO.
Some pretty high bond amounts. But the guy slapped first. That's a fact. Why he did it or any of that, if whatever, I look at it like this. Let's say the two guys are arguing and the black guy said something that infuriated the white guy to the point where he couldn't take the arguing no more and he wanted to take it to the next level. Well, the next level is to slap somebody across the face. Well, he slapped the guy across the face. Well, the black guy is like, oh, hell no. I'm not going to slap him back across his face. I'm going to whoop his ass. So the black guy commenced to fighting, and the other people who were around pushing, shoving, swinging. It was to hear the N-word, he might have triggered 3, 4, 5 people. But the initial reports that I got was like hundreds. There was a lot of black people around who were just observing, who were just watching, who weren't participating in any way other than filming, and some of them just watching without their cameras up. But it just let you know, guys, we live in a country where it depends on what lens you're looking through as to how they look at it. But these are the kind of opportunities that we have to take steps forward to clarify our position and claim our rights. The Democrats aren't going to help us do that. We got to do it for ourselves. This isn't no big deal for them. Black people getting beat up by police is no big deal for them. I feel that the police the other day who threw that left hook and hit that kid who was seated in that car through that broken glass is way worse than what we saw with the white folks being beat up out there. And that was an ass whooping. But when when you can't even be safe in the care of the police department, a young black man, a kid, if he was a white kid, you guys could see him as a kid. Otherwise, you see him as something else. But to grab him out of the car, beat the shit out of him, and that's where you should be like, hey, my son's late for coming home. Our neighbor just passed by. They saw him pulled over. Oh, he's with the police. We should be like, good. Oh, he probably ran a stop sign. But you would feel safe knowing that the police ain't going to do nothing to your kid. But we would panic and be like, oh, shit. And we'd have to drive down the road looking for him. What happened? And the police are a threat to us, and people are okay with the police being a threat to us, because as long as the police are a threat to us, they feel comfortable. They feel safer. They know when the police lights pull up, they're not coming for them. When the fight gets broken up, they're going to be given an unfair physical advantage and an unfair legal advantage, because the police report's going to be skewed in their favor, no matter what. Whether the black people are at fault or not at fault, or if it was just a brawl of people getting into it, they got to get down to the beginning of this. And if we can accept a verbal argument between two parties as high and as hot as this should have gotten, which is what I think. I don't even like that part. When they get to too many FUs and all that, I gotta go away. I gotta walk away from that kind of stuff, because you can't calculate what could happen next. You don't know if this person's gonna throw their root beer in your face, or like that guy did, slap you upside the head, which is just like about as disrespectful as you can get. And then you're supposed to just stand there and take it or respond in kind by smacking him back across. Like, nah, man, that's not gonna go. And as citizens of this country, we just need to be honest and speak the truth, and not call people nonviolent when they're violent, and call people violent when they're really truly nonviolent people. Defending yourself doesn't make you a violent person. Sometimes you have to commit a violent act to back people up off you and to let them know. Apparently, one of the women was from Russia. I think she's back in Russia now. But to get laid out like that over here in the U.S., maybe she came over with the wrong idea. Maybe their attitude and the way they were dealing with the black people in the United States, because of how they hear and see white people over here treating us, they probably thought they could do whatever, and our hands were bound and we couldn't swing back, and we'd have to take it, and they were going to go home with pictures of black people they slapped, and their friends would want to come do it. I mean, I don't know what's going on with this. How is it so difficult to see that these people had the right to defend themselves, and when a fight happens and alcohol is involved, it's usually probably not going to go like a normal fist fight. And when people know alcohol is involved, they're a little less willing to jump in there and get in between and put themselves in harm's way. It makes sense. But let's keep the N words out of your mouths, and we'll keep our feet on the ground. I guess that's the best way you can put it. Like, comment, share, and please subscribe, and we'll see you on the next Black Popcorn.